I don't know, just be a good person. What about that? Just be nice to people, you know? Yeah. Like, a lot of it doesn't add up. I can't keep track of all the rules. Like transgender, what do you think? That's how I feel. I don't give a shit. You want to go for a man, a woman? Go nuts. Well, go labia. What's the beef? Look, it's weird to hate someone because they're trans, right? But it's also weird to love someone because they're trans. Shouldn't you like them based on who they are as a person, content of the character? People are so phony. I love Caitlyn Jenner. Why? She sucks. She's against gay marriage or ran over a person. What's the good part? Then they go, well, they have hard lives. All right, well, so do midgets. Why don't you talk about how much you like them? Where's that hashtag? I don't see any tweets about midgets. Who's got hard on a midget? Hard to get around, hard to drive, hard to get work? No love. And look, I'm not anti-trans, but I am pro-midge. I just don't get why we help one group and not another. It's just kind of trendy. And people say, well, trans aren't allowed everywhere. Well, you ever been to a roller coaster? At least trans we accommodate with the bathrooms. Midgets, ever seen how tall a toilet is? What? Imagine having to jump to take a dump. Weird. No help, no support. And you know what's great about midgets? I got a couple midget friends. They're good eggs. You never see a midget complaining. Never. Every other group complains. Never a midget. Never see it on the news, sitting at a desk, legs dangling, a little fish egg. Never. Every other group complains. I see women on the news, we have a glass ceiling. Midgets are like, you're worried about the ceiling? Holy shit. I'm trying to fuck with this counter, baby. Interesting. See, I guess I'm too open-minded because I support all transition, not just sexual. Why do we stop at sexual? I support transition of personality, transition of opinion, right? Like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart got in trouble for some offensive tweets from years ago. Well, I'm not the same guy I was from years ago. I've transitioned. I used to have sex with 16-year-olds when I was 16. Now I don't. I'm different. Well, years ago, he said some offensive stuff. Well, years ago, she won the men's relay. People change. Okay? Why do you support that and not that? Huh. It just tells me if I ever get into trouble now, I'm just going to get a sex change because you got to kiss my ass. Hey, Mark, we heard that interview from 10 years ago. That was Mark. I'm Margaret. I don't know. I support Kevin Hart also because he's a midget. Oh, there we go.
I never went to college. I said that earlier, but I never went. I didn't go because I had to pay for it. And I always figured that at 18 years old, if I had enough money to pay for college, I was probably doing all right already. You know what I mean? I also don't feel like we need college for everything, you know? Like, if you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, probably a good idea if you go to college, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to be those things. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I figured we don't need it for everything. You know, building roads, building houses, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Abraham Lincoln built a house. Did he go to college? I don't know. Yeah. Not even sure he built a house, I'll be honest with you. That's just what people tell me, I don't know. And they named the logs after him, so. That's gotta mean something. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't like school. I didn't like handwriting, you know what I mean? You print for a while and then they try to make you write in cursive. I always hated that. Like about the time I'm perfecting print, they want to slip in cursive on me, you know? Like it's the evolution of print, you know? That's not what it is. Cursive's like print's weird cousin that likes touching way too much. You know what I mean? Okay. We're having a good time. And I never liked reading. This is why I don't like to read, though. When I was a little kid, there was this TV show called Reading Rainbow. You guys remember that show? They had a host on there. A guy named LeVar Burton, trying to get everybody to read books all the time. Then he showed up on Star Trek blind. That's what reading does. That's why I don't get into it. You know?
I am currently engaged right now. I say currently because after this is on TV, that might be the end of it all. Recently had an argument. I found out that some couples get married on a Friday. I asked her about it. She said, oh, it's cheaper. I know a lot of people do get married on a Saturday, but she said, yeah, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to do it on a Friday. She got upset with me when I suggested that we do it on a Monday morning. It seems to me like you get paid to do it on Monday morning. Your friends are like, hey, when's your wedding? It's like, it's actually on Monday morning right before you go to work, so just wear whatever you're going to wear to work. There's obviously no reception. You're gonna have people drunk at work. I didn't even know about non-alcoholic receptions. You actually don't ever know about it. You have to actually find out the hard way that those exist. You get to the reception, hi, I'd like a beer. Actually, we only have sweet tea and water. What? What was that? Your brain can't even process the information. What? You know how weird that is to instantly going from someone who wishes the newlyweds well to someone who hopes they get a divorce immediately? I hope you have diarrhea the entire honeymoon. I do live with my fiance, which is great. If anyone's thinking about getting married or you're thinking about proposing, live together first. I highly recommend that. I know some people are against it. A lot of religious people are like, well, if you live together before you're married, you're going to go to hell. And that's exactly what marriage can become when you don't know each other that well. So it's kind of, when do you want your hell? Do you want it now? Want it later? Take it later. Take it later. I keep thinking about the bachelor party. I don't know what we'll do. I don't know if you guys know this, but in Amsterdam, they have legalized prostitution. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. That's just a bad segue. That's all that is. I haven't slept with a prostitute. I probably have the same reservations every man in this room has when it comes to sleeping with a prostitute, you know. What if I fall in love?
I was at a friend's house recently, and they had like a Ouija board sitting out, right? And like, I'm familiar with Ouija boards, like I know the concept behind them, but I had never seen one like up close. I had no idea that they're made by like Milton Bradley. You know, like who at that company in the board meeting was like, you know what kids need, I think? Dude, is there a game where you can talk to fucking ghosts yet? Is that a thing? Because I think kids would like that. I think that's... We could call it, I don't know, or something with pedophiles. I don't know, I think that's on par. I was fucking around with that idea in my head, but like then I was thinking more about it, and it's not a way for us to talk to dead people, because that's not what Ouija boards are, right? Because like, you don't really get to pick the ghost. You play like 20 questions, you have to figure out who the ghost is. You're like, how did you die? You know, it's bullshit, someone's moving it. But the whole idea is you ask questions. So it's a way for dead people to talk to us, which means that there's ghosts lined up waiting for a chance to use a Ouija board, right? And can you imagine how shitty it would be if you were dead and your only form of communication with your loved ones in the outside world was through the hands of a fat teenage girl who thinks she's a vampire? Some just chubby cutter John Edwards sprinkling donut powder around the entrance to her bedroom trying to channel a boyfriend. My name's David Smith. I live at 512 Maple Crest. Do you like My Chemical Romance? What are you talking about? You do not understand how important this is. You need to tell my wife, does Dennis have a crush on me? Who's Dennis? How would I know that? I'm a ghost, not a psychic, and you know the answer is no. Please? I just go to hell. This is so much worse than hell. I'd rather just be in hell right now.
You ever got to put your foot up on something to look cool, and then you realize that it's a much higher surface than you originally realized? I was at a party the other day talking to a girl. I'm like, yeah, I do comedy. It's pretty sweet. Well, that looked a lot lower when I started this move. You can't panic. You got to go with it. I'm like, yeah, I want to see my balls through my jeans here. Your knees should never be higher than your genitals in a conversation. That's a good rule of thumb, just generally. I was at a hotel recently. When you have anxiety, everyone has a solution. I was at a hotel. The hotel room had a steam room. I mean, the hotel had a steam room, not my hotel room. I'm not doing that well. The hotel had a steam room. My buddy was like, you gotta go take a steam. A steam room is really relaxing. A steam room is relaxing if you're the only person in the steam room. That's relaxing. Then you hear that door swing open and you realize that somebody else has entered the steam room, but you can't see them because it's too steamy. That's no longer a relaxing situation. Now you're in some sort of weird ghost porn. Where I'm just sharing a tiny, steamy space with an elderly, naked man that I can't see until he's a penis distance away from my face. I'm like, hello? Is somebody in here? And You can't feel around for them. That's no good. I'm just laying in a puddle of ringworm. All of a sudden, a spirit dick appears in front of my eyes. I'm like, ah! You guys are great. Thank you very much.